office, guys, and here we are at Mud Lake. What? It's one thing to sit in the office and talk about it. It's quite something else to be out here. And as you just said, as we look down, I can only imagine how excited those kids are to have. Oh, look, there's a frog down there.
Up there
Yeah, you've got the turtles.
Yeah.
And how inspiring that you decided, well, this is the natural learning environment. I'm going to ask you one question. Impact on students. Can you speak to me a little about that?
Sure. Want to do that? You want me?
I know I'll start and then you can jump in.
Sure.
I think, obviously, there's all those connections in terms of real life learning. So real application of the curriculum down here. But I think more than that, it's just removing them from that environment of the school, and it just changes. Conversation changes, relationships change for the better when you come down here. It's almost like those walls that we have in the school, those are walls between us in some ways, and those walls come down. And students that a child with ADHD, for example, where that is a real deficit to them in the classroom, can become a real asset here, where the rest of us who may have more attention and are more focused, we're looking in front of us, probably looking where we think we should be looking, whereas a child with ADHD is looking all over the place, and they're spotting the squirrel, the frog, the turtle, the heron, the whatever it is. So that becomes suddenly something that, they could be a child that's really annoying in the classroom to their partner. Suddenly they're someone that you want to be with because they can spot all these great things that the rest of us probably aren't seeing. I don't know, John.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's just that student well-being piece is so strong, and it was something that we knew was there in the research. But it's that constant exposure too. It's not a one-off trip where so many. If you take students outside of where they're comfortable, it takes them a while to become comfortable. So that repeated exposure, coming every week, once or twice a week, this becomes a space where they eventually, it's part of their community. Our students didn't used to come down here on their own or with their parents. Now they bring their parents down on the weekends or at night. We've also used it. We used it before our provincial testing, our UQAO testing with our grade 6s. We brought them down for a walk every morning before they did the testing. They just kind of came down, had a chance to sit, just to relax, and they found that that really helped them just to settle for that day. One of the things we also noticed this year was with an influx of a lot of students from outside of our school who weren't used to this, it was difficult for them, and it was frustrating for our students at the same time who were already used to it. We saw a difference. It's getting much better now after a year of that, but it really points to that being comfortable in an environment is so important, and this is a great natural place to learn, but it's also a place that requires practice. I think the first year I started bringing kids down, I thought we'd be able to jump in full on with an inquiry approach, and grade 5s weren't ready for that yet. They didn't understand how that would work. So our students now treat this as a classroom. It's just an extension of it. We share, and the nice thing about it too is we share it with the community. So we might be down here and see someone who's got a camera and they've taken a picture of a bird in a nest and they want to share that with us. So there's lots of really positive things out of that.